Alright, what's up, savages? Today we are out in our little rabbitry that we have set up, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about a gear review that we did. Sometimes we do gear reviews where other companies will contact us, they'll send us gear and they'll ask us to review it. Other times we'll do gear reviews where we'll contact a company and we like a piece of gear, we'll say, hey, can we work something out, maybe at a discount or something like that. They'll send it out and review it. And other times we'll just do a gear review of gear that we purchased, that we like. Today we're going to be reviewing these groove rings. Now, we've had these groove rings for a little over 6 months, and we wanted to give you guys a complete, honest review. A little bit of background first. The reason why I ended up going with the silicone ring in the first place was because I was deathly afraid of ring avulsion. I used to be a customs officer in Long Beach working at the seaport, and I was coming down a gangplank or a gangway off of a ship, and I tripped. My hand was on the railing and my finger got caught by my ring, and I almost ripped my finger all the way off. From then on, I stopped wearing rings. I ended up starting to research a lot of different silicone type rings, and most of the reviews that we saw were that the rings collected water and sweat underneath the ring, and it waterlogged people's fingers, and it gave people rashes and chaps and stuff. I didn't want to do that. One company had an answer to that, and that was groove rings. So my wife ended up getting some groove rings as well because she's going to school to be a dietitian and she wears rubber gloves all the time. The rings that she was wearing was getting caught in the rubber gloves and puncturing holes through it. It was difficult for me being a law enforcement officer, which I'm still a law enforcement officer even though I don't work for customs anymore. It was difficult putting gloves on wearing a ring as well at times. In addition to that, if you guys have followed any of our videos, you can see that we are avid outdoors people. We go outdoors a lot. We do things from starting primitive fire, which includes batoning and feather sticking and creating primitive shelters and stuff. And a lot of the times when you're wearing these metal rings, you can get pinched right here on your finger. We do a lot of stuff with our cars. We do all of our own vehicle maintenance. My wife and I both do vehicle maintenance, and sometimes when you're underneath your car working on it or underneath the hood working on it, having a ring on can be problematic. In addition to that, we do some welding and some outdoor projects that you guys have seen along this channel as well, and wearing a ring just isn't feasible. My wife and I are both avid into going to the gym, working out, as well as martial arts. So if any of you guys have ever worked out, lifting weights and stuff at the gym, wearing a ring can be problematic, particularly a metal ring. In Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and in Filipino stick fighting, you don't want to have a ring on at all. In fact, most places that you go to train in any martial art, they're going to require you to take your ring off. What's nice about these groove rings is we can train in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and leave them on. We can train with our stick fighting, and it's not going to be a problem holding the stick with the sticks bashing up against each other and creating issues. In addition to that, being outdoors a lot and doing martial arts and all the things that we do, we are at high risk for injuries, breaking our fingers and things of that nature. And there has been issues where people have broken their finger, particularly at the joint, and the finger swells a lot and they can't get the ring off. I know my wife, when she goes rucking, she tries to go rucking 2 or 3 days a week, her hands swell, and she has had issues trying to get her metal rings off, but with these flexible groove rings, she's able to get it off no problem. Anyways, we contacted Groove Rings probably 8 months ago, 6 to 8 months ago. We told them we wanted to do a good, honest video review for them on groove rings. They sent us a few out. Over the last 6 months, one of the rings that my wife had kind of broke. It cracked. We contacted Groove Rings. They have a no questions asked money-back guarantee or replacement, and they sent her out another ring. It got here within a couple of days, and she's been wearing it ever since without any issues. All in all, I can't speak enough of great things about these groove rings. Now, I think it's important to mention here, Groove Rings isn't paying us to do this video review. I just happen to be a big fan of the product because I'm able to wear a ring. My wife's happy that I'm continuing to wear a ring, despite the fact that I do clearly have a visible tattoo on my finger. And I can do it safely. I'm super active. My wife is super active. And we're able to wear our rings and not have any problems. We'll put a link in the description below to Groove Rings if you guys are interested. They have all kinds of different types of rings, all kinds of patterns, male rings, female rings that you guys can go check out. Again, check out the warranty policy. That's what impressed me the most. I think there's a story on there where somebody was playing with his kid at the playground. His ring, groove ring, fell off into the sand and they sent him out a new one. So all in all, good product. I recommend them. Go check them out. Guys, thanks for watching, and as always, stay savage.